Shortly, I'm going to give you a small tour of exactly what I got going on up here, which I don't really go into any details specifying how I made it or anything. I really want to get a brewing video out there ASAP, definitely by February. It's just those take a lot of time and effort, and if I'm going to do it, I want to do it well. So don't worry, it'll get there, I promise. Like I said, I'm enjoying actually the same Abbey Brown that I talked about in my first Homebrewing Wednesday episode, but I realized that I never actually went over kind of a taste profile except with Yanni, but it was very brief. Therefore, I call this one Ab-He. Why? I have no idea. You know, I thought right on in the moment right now that was clever, but it's a pretty shitty name. I'll get back to you with something that's much better. Anyways, sweet, malty beer. Definitely got sweetness in the smell. In my opinion, it's extract rather than a malt sweetness. I mean, people say that, and I agree, that you can make a really fantastic extract beer. Actually, I won my first medal at a homebrewing competition with an extract robust porter. It did win silver medal in the porter category. So if I can find the recipe for that, I'll put it below. If I don't find it by Wednesday, by the time this video hits YouTube, then I will make sure to get it on my Facebook page. If you haven't already checked that out, go to it. I try to keep up posts as much as possible, whether it's from random shit about beer, to specifics about homebrewing, to cool tips, to really like just some neat pictures that just, you know, make you wet and make your day. Whatever floats your boat. Whatever fills your glass, more like it. Let that catch on. I'm pretty sure that that's going to become the next big thing on the web, right? You got what I did there, right? Whatever floats your boat. We're going to transition to whatever fills your glass. Oh, that's nice. You know, it's been sitting here, which is actually on top of my heater. I keep a heater down here to warm the entire brewing area to try to keep it above 75°F. I like the beers to be at like 23 plus. I find that I get a lot more flavor, a lot more fermentation, and like when I give the brewery tour, you'll get to see, or at least I try with the camera. It's hard. There's not a lot of good lighting in the room to actually see the fluctuation that's going on in there. That kind of tempête, that tornado, really nice. I had my brew day on Saturday. I brewed a smash ale. I love Maris Otter. It's the greatest. You know, I told you guys a while back that I wouldn't be brewing anymore with anything but Maris Otter, which is a lie, because I'm actually working on 2 recipes. One is going to be for kind of a Hefe, maybe Belgian wit beer, and the other one's going to be on a dark Belgian ale, like a strong Belgian, maybe a Trappist. I'm absolutely obsessing over that style of beer. I find it to be one of the most challenging in thought and process to make a really good one, to make one that will be able to compare with some commercial examples such as Roxford or, you know, even Chimay, any of the other ones you could think of, Merit Seuss, any of the big guys, and Orville, Duvel. Yeah, it's just so many great commercial examples. And you know, there's a lot of opinions on which of those are actually good versus which ones are just okay versus which ones suck. I'm reading Brew Like a Monk. I think I might have said this before, but holy shit, that's a great book. For any home brewer who loves reading about the subject, who really likes the style of Belgian's Trappist strong ales, I suggest getting your hands on that book ASAP and just read the shit out of it as fast as you can. It's going to get you pumped to brew Belgian. That's what it's doing to me. Like I said, I'm really excited. My next 2 formulations are going on. So far in the year, I'm up to. No, you know what? We're going to keep the brewing calculator, the little thermostat that's just going to go up all of 2014. We're going to keep that to being aired twice a month. So essentially, every second video, I'll talk about where I am at on the scales. You know what? Since I didn't say it last video, we might as well go there. So we're at 80 liters of beer and 20 liters of cider. So we officially reached the 100-liter mark for the year, which isn't bad considering we're, what, the 19th today? But it's not enough. Not enough at all. We got to get the brewing up. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to brew again in January unless it's the 31st. maybe I can do some cool kind of a lot of photos that day to get you guys more into the brewing scene. Again, check out my Facebook page, www.facebook.com/beeraddictedbrewing. Go check it out. I'll make sure to put it in a link forever going forward. Eventually I got to figure out how to put this Facebook square right here so I can just go bing. That'll be pretty awesome. Still working on the editing, you know. I got some comments about how I should do things. Let me know what you think. Besides that, I can tell you that I'm doing a cool, another cider. Well, I call it cider when it's made like fruit concentrates, anything like that. In my head, cider doesn't have to be with apples. When I say cider, technically by definition it does. So, you know, shoot me. Nestea. Who the hell in their right mind wouldn't want an alcoholic Nestea? I'm gonna make it happen. And you know what? I got a really cool idea about exactly what I'm gonna use with that. What do I got up in here? So much crap. So much crap. I collect crap. Oh, it was in the front the whole time. This is a pack of tea, because I love to brew with teas. I love to teabag my brews. I hope everyone that's ever tried one is watching this, so they hear me say that in person. Say it to your face, say it to the camera. I love teabagging my brews. Ales, lagers, sours, teabag them all. Who gives a shit? As long as it tastes good in the end, it's the heart that goes into it and the teabag. So what tea is this exactly? This is a green tea with lemon zest. God, I can smell it. Freaking smells awesome. I haven't even opened this sack and I can smell how good it is. Anyways, the point that I'm bringing this up is that, what did I say? Oh yeah, Nest freaking tea. Who the hell would want alcoholic Nestea? No one. It's freaking awesome. And look, it's made with real tea. It's probably bullshit, but as long as you believe it, it's true to someone. And that someone being yourself, because you're naive. I'm gonna believe that, and I'm gonna turn this baby alcoholic, and then I'm gonna add me some green lemony zesty tea. I'm gonna teabag the shit out of that carboy, and then I'm gonna serve it to my friends. Why? Because I can. Without further ado, let me give you a little brewery tour, and then we'll call it a Wednesday. This is a simple honey mead, very much like the recipe that I went over with you in the first Homebrew Wednesday video of the year. You can see it's got a very, very nice orange color. There's a lot of sedimenting going on at the bottom. Might not be the easiest to see with this angle. However, you can see that there is a kind of darker layer going on over here as all the yeast falls out of suspension. It's actually quite clear. It's hard to tell if you can actually see on the angle, but it's really, really clear at this moment. You can still see from this top kind of layer of bubbles that there is still fermentation going on, although I do plan to bottle that within a week. To the left, we have a raspberry kiwi cider. As you can see, compared to the orange, or when next to it, just how red this baby actually is. There's not much action going on in the airlock, which suggests that, oh, we just saw a bubble go, but that's about it, which suggests that the bulk of the fermentation, being primary, is more or less finished. I'd say there's probably a bubble every 20-25 seconds, which means I'm going to leave it in the primary a little bit longer before switching it over for all the yeast to fall more out of suspension. If we go look over here, again, hard to see on this angle, but there's a small layer of, well, we'll call it crud, that came out of, this is actually just a simple juice, funny enough. So, yeah, and it's going to be beautiful. I've made a lot of ciders that are just purely with juice. This is purely with juice, but it's going to be good. So in my mind, this is everything that was in the juice that wasn't pure fruit concentrate or whatever it is. Or it might actually just be some yeast residue. It's hard to tell because it's more than off-white. It's really got a beigeish and darker color, which makes me think that it's not quite only yeast. Over to these two bad boys. They're my latest brews. Both the exact same beer, just in different fermenters. It's my Smash IPA, 100% Maris Otter, and 100% Citra, actually. Hard to see on this angle. If we were to go down, we might be able to see that they do have a yeast cake that's quite, well, we'll call it thick, but there's still a lot of yeast that will be falling out of suspension. This one in particular, to the left, or to the right, sorry, you can see quite a bit. Is the further we go down, the closer we get to the base, you can definitely see that the yeast is falling out. Although it's not quite at its point where it'll purely just be falling out of suspension. There's still quite a bit of action going on there. I'm not sure if you can see at this angle. I don't know how clear that picture is, but you should be able to see that there is quite a bit of action going on in there at the moment. Yeah, definitely a lot of fluctuation going on in there. Fairly certain that you can see, or at least I hope. And over here, got a similar thing going on. Here maybe it's a better angle for you to see exactly how much movement and yeast activity is going on in there. Quite impressive if you ask me, how much those little bastards just eat away. It's quite lovely. So yeah, this is a smash brew. Really exciting. Always turns me on. If we were to go back over to the left, I don't know if this is something we went over in the other week. However, this is more or less another one of my meads. This one being a lot stronger. This one is a cranberry and actually no, this is a cinnamon pomegranate mead. That is correct. So that one is going to be a lot stronger. We're looking at around maybe 12% alcohol by volume, and it's been fermenting for a long time. I'd say months even. And yeah, we're just going to leave that one there for a little bit longer. I'm thinking maybe another week or two. This is very similar again to the recipe that I showed you, or told you rather, how to make in the first week's episode. So yeah, that's the top level of my brewery over here. Quite a lot of action at the moment. You know, a lot of different selection. But yeah, so thanks for meeting the family, and we can get back to our conversation. Thank you for joining me on this small tour of the top shelf of this sexy, wooden, black, sleek brewery that I like to call home, sweet beer addicted home. Your host Mike, you know, I'm trying my best here. Give a holla at your boy. Let me know what you want to see, what you want to hear, what you want me to do. I will get a brew day out there to you, no doubt about it. Besides that, my next little concoction is gonna either be that Belgian wit or the strong ale. I make my strong ales with real homemade candy sugar. That video will definitely go on YouTube, because you know, I see a lot of forums, I see a lot of discussions on how to actually make the candy sugar. I'll make sure to take you through a step-by-step process of how good candy sugar should be made. Because I made it before, and oh, mwah, magnificent. I say that out loud when I'm tasting it, even if I'm alone, because it's really good. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again next week. Thank you for following the Beer Addicted Education channel. Trying to keep you guys as smart and as sober as possible while I do the drinking. See you next week, guys. Thanks. Ciao.
We don't have to worry about nothing, 'cause we got the fire and we burning one hell of a something. They're gonna see us from outer space, light it up like we're the stars of the human race.